Well, good afternoon and Shana Tova. I am so happy to see all of you. I think this is the first event of the new year, and it's also Indigenous Peoples Day, and I'm so glad we could be together. I want to start by thanking our event co-chairs, Jackie and Dan Saphir, David Agger, Kayla Espinoza, and I want to thank our host committee for their incredible partnership with our professional team led by the amazing Stacy Silver. I'd also like to thank our table and our table hosts and our sponsors. We could not have done this without you, and we are grateful for your generosity and hospitality. And I'd like to thank John Pritzker, who's sitting right up here in front, today's honoree. I think he likes this. And he has been an incredible friend to the Federation, to the Jewish community. John, your commitment to the Bay Area and the future of the Jewish community is unwavering, and we want to all thank you for that. Last week, we ushered in the new year, and today we meet on the heels of the holiest day of the entire year, Yom Kippur, and we had the anniversary of the attack in Israel on October 7th, sandwiched just in between that. I'd say it's an understatement to say that it has been a very long year. With the war in Israel only intensifying, hostages still held in captivity in Gaza, and a rapid and frightening rise in anti-Semitism right here in our own backyard, we hold two truths at the same time: sadness and suffering for the Jewish people, and the blessing we have of one another in this room, together, and in our communities. Our Jewish sages taught us, whoever mourns Jerusalem will yet share in its rejoicing. And what they mean is that without experiencing sorrow and mourning, there's no way for us to appreciate the opposite, which is happiness. Rabbi Nachman of Breslau urged us to strive for joy, to use all of our strength to achieve happiness so we can have faith, courage, and strength to face our sorrows. In a few minutes, we'll offer the traditional Jewish blessing over the bread, the hamotzi, and today we'll dip it in honey because I asked Stacy, who planned today's event, do we have any extra honey? I think we could all use a little extra reminder of how lucky we are to be together, to literally taste the sweetness in our lives. But before that, there are a few things that I'd like to say about the Federation. People ask me all the time, what does the Federation do? Or, I heard you're making changes. Is there still a Federation? Well, this is an opportunity for me to be as clear as possible about who the Federation is today. Thanks to your generosity and leadership, the Federation is doing what it has done for more than a century: help shape Jewish life in the Bay Area, Israel, and in Jewish communities around the world by responding to the challenges and opportunities that face us. Simply put, we are in the business of fostering thriving Jewish communities. And as we always have, we are responding to emergencies. In the days and the weeks following October 7th, the community came together, raising more than $22 million for the Israel Emergency Campaign. We raised this money from thousands of donors, a third of whom who had never made a gift to the Federation before. They were first-time donors. We raised more money last year than we have in 20 years. And combined with other Jewish federations and Jewish organizations, we raised $900 million for Israel. We put this money to work immediately to provide urgent humanitarian relief, support for the victims of terror fund, to care for those who fled their homes who more than a year later are still staying in hotels. We raised the money to help our neighbors, the Bedouin and the Druze, and by lending capital to small Israeli business owners who are continually facing hurt from their businesses because of the ongoing war. According to the Israeli government, over half of all the funds raised for helping in Israel after the attack came through the Federation system. As we always have, the Federation is combating anti-Semitism, and this time, sadly, it's in our backyards. Your support allowed the Federation to double down on our work as a Jewish security go-to resource across Northern California. The Federation Community Security Team is led by national intelligence and military veterans who have close relationships with local, state, and federal law enforcement and the FBI. They bring their knowledge and expertise to their work. They consult with synagogues, JCCs, preschools, camps, and Jewish-owned businesses in the area. Our team works around the clock to make sure we can live our day-to-day lives safely. Last week alone, in addition to the high holidays, they were dealing with bomb threats, protests, vandalism, and graffiti. As we always have, the Federation works to strengthen Jewish identity for families, to support the next generation of leaders, and to care for those most in need in our communities, and to promote justice and inclusion. In fact, the Federation just awarded $8 million in grants here in the Bay Area to increase our support for JCCs and Hillels and for vital services provided by our core partners, organizations like JCRC, Shalom Bayit, Jewish Learning Works, the Campus for Jewish Living, and so many others. We also continue to support families through PJ Library, to foster young leadership through programs like the Jewish Teen Foundation and the Dillard Teen Fellows. And we work with our partners at Birthright, Repair the World, and Honeymoon Israel. As we always have, the Federation invests and visits Jewish communities around the world. Last year, we had a chance to visit Ethiopia, Bosnia, Croatia, and Cuba. And this is just a snapshot of what we've done in the past year. And it's a reminder of what we've always done and continue to do, and why your gift to the Federation is as important as ever as we build and grow Jewish life. So if you've ever heard that rumor that Federation doesn't have an annual campaign any longer, I'm here to put that to rest. And I hope you'll make your gift if you haven't. And now I'm going to tell you about what else the Federation does. Over the past 8 years since I've worked here, the Federation has stewarded $1.5 billion in grants. This makes our Federation the largest funder of Jewish causes in California and one of the largest foundations in the state. Every year, we distribute about $200 million to 3,000 charities, half of which are local. We do this through our network of 1,000 donor-advised funds and 30 public and private foundations that we help manage. The donor-advised fund engine helps drive our long-term sustainability, and the fees you pay are immediately reinvested in the Federation and in the Jewish community. And every grant that goes out of the door has the seal of the Jewish community, no matter where it goes. Our evolution as a Center for Jewish Philanthropy is a natural one, and an opportunity for our impact to be even greater than through the annual campaign alone. Families and young adults are engaging in philanthropy in new ways, and we need to meet them where they are. Channeling the innovative and entrepreneurial spirit of the Bay Area, we help givers maximize their impact through opportunities like impact investing, family philanthropy, and giving circles. For example, our impact lending program has invested $50 million in the past few years on issues like climate justice and affordable housing. And today, I'm excited that we're launching a new model for 21st century giving, the collective impact funds. Borrowing from the mutual fund investment model, these funds allow donor-advised fund holders and foundations to support a set of curated organizations that are working to address big problems that we have. We're starting with 4 funds that are working to address anti-Semitism. Each fund tackles a different angle, including addressing anti-Semitism on college campuses, combating misinformation and disinformation in social media, polarization and hate, and protecting democracy. Simply put, anti-Semitism is bad for democracy, and anti-democracy is bad for minority communities, especially the Jews. For each of these funds, Federation has selected a list of up to 10 vetted organizations that have proven impact doing meaningful and important work. The collective impact funds offer an easy starting point for anyone who's wanted to address anti-Semitism but maybe doesn't know where to start. Or even for funders who've been doing this for years but want to amplify their impact by diversifying their approach, pooling their dollars so that they can go farther and have greater impact. Any of our donor-advised funds or foundations can participate at any level and collectively participate in this effort. And the pools that are leveraged are just like we did with our Israel Emergency Fund. We're sending a clear message around philanthropic values and priorities that Bay Area Jewish communities stand for. We have an ambitious goal. We're hoping we can raise at least $1 million for these impact funds before the election, which is only a couple of weeks away. And we already have the first $100,000 committed thanks to the Newton and Rochelle Becker Charitable Trust. Our intent is to continue to build more collective impact funds, each focusing on different issues. And I encourage all of you to set up a donor-advised fund with the Federation if you haven't already done that, so you can join us to participate. Once the DAF is set up, you can direct contributions to these collective impact funds and to thousands of nonprofits with just a few clicks. It's super easy with minimal expense, and all of it goes back to help the Jewish community through the Federation's work. On your seat, you have some information about the funds and how you can participate, and I think it's a great way to kick off the new year. Last week, when I was in synagogue for the high holidays, I thought about the kind of person that I want to be this year. And because it's my job, and because it is our shared holy work, I also thought about the kind of organization I want the Federation to be in the new year. I want the Federation to continue to be a beacon of light during these dark days, a place that keeps building thriving Jewish communities despite the obstacles we face. And I want us to continue repairing the world, no matter how broken it feels. I want us to continue to center the tenet, Kol Yisrael Avarim Ze Bazeh, all of Israel is responsible for each other in our work. There is no question in my mind that in this moment, the Jewish world is facing the greatest challenge of our time, and it is overwhelming. And as we have been for more than 100 years, the Federation will continue to respond to crisis, support each other, and pursue justice. We know that today, while we continue to mourn Jerusalem, one day we will again share in its rejoicing. Throughout all of this, I am deeply comforted knowing we are not alone, that we are with each other. Am echad belev echad. We are one people with one heart. And even more precious, we are with friends who remind us that we're not alone. One of our most stalwart supporters is here with us today, Congressman Richie Torres.